is what's their present relationship with their vendor? I mean, if their uncle and aunt are their vendors, you got a long ways to go before you take somebody out competitive wise. The decision made at current locations. I mean, there's so many businesses here in Ventura County that decisions made in Dallas and all that stuff by committee. So you got to look at things realistically and know, can the actual decision be made here? Can they give me a check, a credit card, a purchase order, or transfer funds? Do they have a temperament that you can handle long term? Have you ever had like the nightmare customer that you realize, I wish you would go away? Again, you got to tell yourself, life is too short to put up with sometimes people's abuses. And we got as sales heroes, you're fair, you always treat people with decency, respect, but sometimes you got to agree to disagree and just cut it off. So it's just qualification. Who are the major influencers? You realize you're in a business, sometimes you're really not sure. Sometimes it goes to committee, sometimes the person who owns it makes the decision. I've been in situations where it's the wife or the husband of the owner who actually makes the decision. It really doesn't work there except for part-time, 2 hours per week. So qualification, it says right here to reach the later stages of a selection process or contest by competing successfully in the early rounds. And so, the qualifying is real important if you want to reduce your stress and improve your quality of life. Uncovering your needs just means being able to be engaging. Ask questions. What's your goals? What's your dreams? What are you trying to accomplish? What have been the barriers in the way? What problems have you had in the past? And then extend those from a standpoint, well, what does that cost? What does that do? Does that make you lose business? What's an unhappy customer means in terms of your bottom line? So all I'm saying this one netting out is, do you ask the questions? And as a sales hero, you got to learn how to ask good questions. And sometimes just writing out questions on a page and going through it through your mind, they start coming back to you. Like with Linda, you did a little role play, like for your business. You don't tell them, can I help you? You say, well, have you seen our display? If you need any help, I'll be standing over there to keep the pressure off. So learning how to ask questions that are not threatening, is a good thing for a sales hero. You got to be interesting questions. When you're in college, you say, well, what's your major? That one got kind of old when you're trying to meet people, right? For you those with the college. Do you take notes? I think that's a really good behavior. When people are talking, you're taking that notes, like my brother Sheldon over here. You take notes. Do you ask direct questions or indirect questions? That's a basic one. If you're just asking questions that get a yes and no, you're not going to find a whole lot out. So learn how to say what and who and that type of stuff with questions. What kind of questions can you state? What if? What would happen? What would be the benefit? How would that make you feel? How would that affect your bottom line? I mean, how do you feel when people kind of engage on you and ask questions? And one of my favorite mentors always goes, Peter, answer me a question. And I'm just feeling really good inside. And he's just like pauses. I'm going, I want to answer it. You got to do that. You realize you never really know the impact you have people by the questions you ask. Just remember how you feel about it. So I think this uncovering needs is all a matter of being a really engaging person. And you could do this anywhere. I try to do this with my kids or my wife. Wife comes home and goes, God, I had a hard day. Most lousy husbands will go, you think you had a hard day? People will go, well, tell me about it. Well, what happened? Oh my, how did that make you feel? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Who was this? What time was this when it happened? I mean, people will just talk and they'll give you their life story if you learn how to be an engaging, questioning person. And it just takes practice. Use it with everybody. And try to think, when somebody says something, extend it. And you ever heard parents sit around talking about their kids? Somebody go, well, my Timmy, he's a really great basketball player. And then another parent will go, well, my Tommy's actually a pretty good soccer player. And everybody's telling their stories. Nobody's actually listening. So learn how to be someone who extends types of things like that. To be able to develop a solution. Same thing like with your